It reads as follows: tan of minus 330 degrees multiplied by sine of 480 degrees multiplied by sine of 260 degrees, all divided by cos of 225 degrees multiplied by sine of 315 degrees multiplied by cos of 350 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to color code these so that you can see what are all the equivalents. Okay, so let's start with this. Let's see what's the first one over there. We've got tan negative 330, right? We need to simplify that. Now, guys, when you have a negative angle, you use the coterminal angle of that. So all we need to do is add plus 360 degrees. And remember, you need to go back to video set 1. The first or the second videos will tell you why that works. So we can just add 360 degrees there. Okay, so that gives me positive tan of 30 degrees. And now I don't even need to reduce it because it turns out to be 30. Now sine of 480, well, that's also outside of the Cartesian plane, so we need to subtract 360 degrees from that. And when I minus 360 from this, what do I get? I get 120. So that's going to give me positive sine 120 degrees, right? Now sine of 260 degrees happens to be within the Cartesian plane, but it's still more than 90 degrees. And when that is more than 90, I need to reduce it. And how do I reduce it? Well, I say sine of 260 is more than 90. Sine of 260 degrees, this is 270, so 260 is in the third quadrant. Sine in that quadrant is negative sine. I say the given angle of 260 is equal to the reduction formula for this quadrant, which is 180 plus theta. And then I solve for theta, and that's going to give me 260 minus blah, 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 that gives me 80 degrees. Therefore, it's going to be negative sine of 80 degrees. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that in. It's going to be multiplied by minus sine of 80 degrees. Right. Divide that. Cos of 225, also very interesting. Cos of 225 degrees. 225 is again in the third quadrant. Cos in that quadrant is negative. It's going to be negative cos. Solve for what goes in there. 225 is equal to the reduction formula for this quadrant, which is 180 plus theta, which is going to give me 225 minus 180. It's going to give me cos of 45 degrees. So that's negative cos 45 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to put that down as negative cos of 45 degrees multiplied by sine of 315. Now this one, I think you guys should have it down by now. That's going to be sine, right? And it's in the fourth quadrant, so sine is negative, so negative sine of 45 degrees, because I'm going to say 360 minus that number, and that's going to give me that, right? Cos of 350, cos in the fourth quadrant, it's going to be positive cos, so I don't need to indicate positive there. It's just going to be positive cos of 10 degrees, right? Okay, now I'm going to try and get rid of all this minus signs. My top here, positive times negative gives me negative, divided by negative times negative is a positive times a positive, so that's going to be negative divided by positive. My overall answer for this solution has to be negative, right? Now, something you guys should know, sine of 80 and cos of 10 are codatio, so I can cancel them out, right? Because cos 10 is exactly the same as sine 80. This is something that I did in the previous video set, explaining it in detail. Okay, the rest of this happens to be special angles that I'm going to substitute in. So tan of 30 is 1 over root 3. And I should actually use green until I've simplified it. That's 1 over root 3 multiplied by sine of 120. I actually need to simplify that first. That's in the second quadrant, so sine is positive. So this is actually going to be positive sine of 60 degrees, right? Once you apply the reduction formula, again, I've shown you how to do that, divided by cos of 45 degrees, And remember, I'm not working with these negatives because I've accommodated it in here, is root 2 over 2, square root of 2, divided by 2, or 1 over root 2, multiplied by sine of 45, which is also root 2 over 2. And this here, let's put this in. Simplify this in blue. Root 2 times root 2 is just going to be positive 2, and that's going to be over 4. In the numerator, I've got 1 over root 3, multiplied by sine over 60, which is root 3 over 2. Okay, and at this point, things are simple, because I can cancel that with that. And now I've got a half divided by 2 over 4, and 2 over 4 simplifies into 1 over 2, right? And now you can easily tell me 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 2 is simply just 1. Okay.